Good morning and welcome. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's the 19th day of January 2022. Wow, this year is going by fast. Or I just have no sense of time anymore because of COVID. Who knows? It's about 50 degrees and foggy here in Ventura, California. We are still under the tsunami/earthquake warning and the marine layer warning. But on the bright side, the whales are back over by the Channel Islands. So whale watching is back and the dolphins are back in force. So if that's your kind of thing and you live here, yeah, I'm going to go down to the beach and do some whale watching later today on my small island off the coast of Costa Rica. Anyways, it's Wednesday, which means it's time to take a look at what's going on in the tabletop role-playing game print news. But before that, though, for 600 subs, I did a very bad attempt to record my actual D&D game last night over at Cess Games and Anime here in Ventura. So the links to that are on my blog. So if you want to see me actually playing and running some D&D type stuff, or whatever it is I actually play, check it out. Look, I do in fact actually do some gaming. Okay, print news from Legendary Games. We have the Dragon's Hoard issue number 12. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition soft cover magazine type thingy. It's $12. It features treasures, maps, magic items, spells, takes on classes, stuff like that. Basically, it's just one of those many magazines that float around that try and recapture the, dungeon/dragons/ a bunch of people contributing small little tidbits of information to maybe, one of them is something that inspires you. For $12, you can't go wrong. From Studio Agate, for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, we have what looks like a campaign setting. We have Fate Forge Player's Guide, Fort Our Draco, the Chronolith, the Butterfly's Dirge. Ooh, I like that name. That sounds like a hardcore heavy metal band. Ladies and gentlemen, Butterfly's Dirge! Yeah. And the Fate Forge Bronze D20. So the soft coupler supplement and metal dice is $20 for all of these together? Or each? This is written funny. I don't know if it's saying for $20 you get all of these, which is wow. Or $20 for each of these. Let's see. The player's guide introduces you to the world and includes character creation worlds. Decide what civilization a character is from and whether they can use magic, read species and class-specific information, including the aberrance domain, and features the psych huge source, blah, 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 blah. Fort Draco is an adventure, written by Ed Greenwood. The Chronolith is an adventure. The Butterfly's Dirge is an adventure. And then, of course, there's the dice. But what is this saying? Doesn't tell me whether this is something you get all together or if you have to pay for each one separately. Yeah, okay, I'm reading. Yeah, I can't tell. Sorry. I'm going to have to look into deeper for this one for you guys if there's any interest in Fate Forge. From Troll Lord Games, we have the 8th printing of the Castles and Crusades Player's Handbook. We have the Player's Handbook, Player's Archive, and the Player Characters Reference Sheets in Goldenrod. This is a hardcover rule book and reference sheets. The hardcover rule book is $40, which is not bad. The Player Archive is $25, and the character sheets in Goldenrod are $6. If you can imagine what AD&D 3rd edition might have looked like, the Castles and Crusades Player's Handbook might be for you. So for those of you who say, I want to keep Gary Gygax's dream alive, and I want to play the game as Gary Gygax attended, and I want to be the closest to the teachings of Gary Gygax, well, then you shouldn't be playing 5th edition. You should be playing Castles and Crusades, because that's the product that Gary Gygax worked on the most before he passed away. And of all the products he worked on, Castles and Crusades is the product that Gary Gygax said repeatedly is closest to what he intended when he first started creating Dungeons & Dragons. So yeah, suck it. 5th edition is not Gary Gygax's dream. It has nothing to do with Gary Gygax. Castles and Crusades is, so go out and get this game. Is it OSR? Sure, yes. Is it AD&D? Sure, yes. Is it what Gary wanted? Yes. Was that a little too self-righteous and sandboxy standing on my soapbox? Probably. From Goodman Games, we have the Feast of the Gobbler Witch, a holiday module. This is for Dungeon Crawl Classic. This is a $10 module. This was the special Christmas edition Dungeon Crawl Classic Adventure. Now it's available for everybody to purchase. So if you're a fan of Dungeon Crawl Classic and want to get their holiday game, check it out. From Goodman Games, we have the Mutant Crawl Classic RPG and the Mutant Crawl Classic Mutant Astronaut Edition. So these are basically alternate covers for $25. This is the one I picked up over at CES Games and Anime. It is the complete game in paperback for $25. And it includes an adventure. Not bad. So if you're looking to get into the weird world of atomic weird horror gonzo role-playing, this is the game for you. From Horse Shark Games, okay, you win for this week's best name for a company. We have Scions of the Computex, the Thinker OHM13 for Mutant Crawl Classic. This is a $10 adventure about Mutant Crawl Classic characters going up against I think you can guess from the name, a super AI similar to Skytech. So Mutant Crawl Classic characters versus an AI. From Hit Point Press, we have Humblewood Minis Aspect of Fire. This is a pack of fire miniatures for $40. So I guess it's a fire elemental figure? Yeah. And then some individuals dealing with the fire elemental. So it's sort of like a adventure thing, but without an adventure. So you've got a big fire elemental looking figure, a couple character figures to go up against the fire elemental type thing. I guess it's a encounter story. It reads like it is, but whatever. Who knows? It's a big figure of a fire elemental. Speaking of figures, a whole bunch of figures just came out from, the Pathfinder Deeper Cuts. And strangely enough, one of them was a 2-pack of Flumps of all choices. I guess it's about time Flumps got a figure and finally got the respect they deserve. There's also a lot of slimes in the new release. So apparently the latest Deeper Cuts from Pathfinders is mostly monsters. So if that's something you're into and you need to spice up your game with some really awesome looking monster games, figures, head on over to your caffeine time, excuse me. I think the problem is I talk faster than my brain can think. Head on over to your friendly local game store, that's CES Games and Anime here in Ventura, and ask them about their figures. OGGM, are you going to talk about what's going with Mordekainen, and are you going to talk about Microsoft? Yes, I'm going to talk about that, but that's not this news. This is just what's coming out of the game news. And last but not least, Tal'Dorei Reborn from Critical Role is out. Darrington Press's reboot of the Critical Role Tal'Dorei setting has been spotted at your friendly local game store. We now have the official cover, and guess what's not mentioned on the official cover? Dungeons and Dragons. It says Darrington Press, it says Critical Role, but nowhere does it say anything about D&D. I'm looking at the credits. No mention of Wizards of the Coast. No mentions of Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry. And the only way you can get it is from Critical Role's various online stores. And the print version comes with a free PDF, but you cannot buy the PDF alone because they want you to buy the physical thing from their store. Not from Wizards of the Coast, but from Critical Role's online store. Yeah, they're making their own game, guys. Face it. You're running out of arguments to tell me that they're not. That's it for the tabletop role-playing game print news of the week, it seems. We do have some other things that are sort of print-related, but we can save those for another vlog. I've already blabbed for 10 minutes about this. And apparently I can't talk. So yeah, let's end this now. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you don't appreciate this content, let me know. Let me know what I can do better, because I can't fix it if you don't tell me what's broken. If you haven't subscribed yet, as always, I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribed and help me hit 1,000 subs by August 4th. Till next time, have a great day. Hopefully summer will be here soon. And get off my land, you damn kids!